was always going and splitting, and they were coming off the track. They were running out of fuel, they were running out of water, so they just finally gave up. They had more complaints than made it worthwhile. You can walk the old railhead these days, some of the old-timers still do, try to remember the Wilderness Railroad. The 4 engines are in California, and they have private collectors who are trying to lovingly bring them back. The rest is history. Not much else left, I don't think. Okay, so we now have 4 engines, and they decided to buy the 4 engines in tenders, and they got a price of $8,000 per, not bad. And they said, gee, there's a lot of drivers and whistles and bells and stuff hanging around. Oh, fill up some boxes, take them. We have diesels, you know. So anyway, they got their 4 engines, and then Roger said, you know, I saw an old engine out in the city park, and it looked kind of nice. Well, it was a 1902 Alco, and actually it looked a lot like our engines do today. It was black and white, but it had pinstriping, a diamond stack, and it was gorgeous. On display in the city park. And they said, well, it hasn't run in a long time, but it was good in its day, you know. And tell you what, $750 as is, it's yours. So at that price, they thought, why not? And then Roger made one mistake with the trip. He said to them, I'll call the States and get a train down here to pick up my purchases. He said, you could see the body language. He hurt their feelings right off. And said something to the effect of United Railways in the Yucatan is a very progressive and modern railroad, and we not only are capable, but we consider it our privilege to deliver these trains to the American border. So he said, boy, I knew I'd hurt them, their national pride. Okay, fine, see you in the morning. Went back to the hotel. He had not been impressed by the operation. He wasn't sure what he was going to find. Next morning, he got down there, and there's a string of flat cars, all freshly painted, not a mark on them. United Railways in the Yucatan, 4 times larger than normal, with a huge Made in Mexico sign on each flat car. They were darn well going to take the credit for delivering those cars. So he said, okay, fine. And they got on board. They put armed guards on. They thought the bandits would come out of the hills to steal the brass off the engines. Not at all. The news was out these wonderful old engines were going home to the States and to Mr. Disney's Florida project. People came out of the villages and clapped in cheers all the way across Mexico as they came up to the border. And then they came to Tampa Bay, where a young mechanic, almost out of work, steamboats are no longer that popular, is given the opportunity to maybe go with a new company. He thought he could rebuild old. He went home that night, prayed with his wife, and said, Disney shows me what they want, and see, I can do it. And he retired 9 months ago after 37 years as our roundhouse chief. And actually, we believe the Disney family is trying to name him as the Disney legend.